Well, hi everyone. This is Anna Dyson. I'm the Assistant Director in the Women in Engineering program. And I thought we should talk a little bit about how you can adjust to a new online learning environment. So hopefully this resource will help you with that transition in sort of this little bit of a turbulent time. So there are a couple of challenges that I think you'll face. And so when you're migrating to an online learning environment, there can be some trouble concentrating on those virtual lectures, maybe managing your time in this new environment or with this new routine. Processing the information via your screen can be a challenge, and then making sure you have a reliable connection and a distraction-free environment. So we're going to walk through some of the strategies that you can use to help you manage all of this. So there's about 9 things we'll look at, and here's a list of them, and we'll kind of go through each one of them one by one to give you some ideas about how you can manage this transition. So the first one is setting up your physical space and the surroundings. You really need a workable space or a location that you can be productive in so that when you're working on your classes and studying, you have a space that's really set aside for you to manage that. You might think about creating a sign that says that you're working or that you're in class or something that really designates that you're working to your family or your roommates or whoever else might be around so that they respect those boundaries. And, you know, as tempting as it may be, your bed at home or wherever you are is just as problematic as it is in your dorm room. So think about how you can create a distraction-free environment. You also need good lighting because the eye strain from looking at your computer for long periods of time can really also cause some stress on your body. So you also need to make sure you can confirm or identify the internet access that you'll need. What if you don't have reliable Wi-Fi at home? Are there places you could go, maybe a local library? Keep in mind the social distancing guidelines that we're trying to adhere to, but are there other places that you could use? Whatever your situation, don't be embarrassed to communicate with your faculty member. Internet access is expensive and not everybody has access to it. So let's talk about options that you could come up with to make the situation work for you. If you are close to another university, there is a shared resource, and you can find that in the text of the document on Canvas to access the EduRoam portal. You might also need some tools. So a few tools can really ensure access to your online learning. A good set of headphones, maybe a microphone, maybe speakers. You might need a webcam. Those are all things that you might have with your laptop, you might already own. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy them, but consider borrowing from a friend or a family member or a neighbor. It might be useful in trying to communicate with your professor or any sort of online tutoring that is out there. Having those tools and having them accessible is really going to be important. You're also going to need to stay organized. You're likely going to have to rework your study schedule and your class attendance schedule. You might have to start from scratch just to come up with a plan. Online learning definitely has its advantages. You might be able to do your classes whenever you want, but it definitely has some disadvantages. So don't forget that engineering study formula and apply that. It might even need to increase a little bit during these times. There might be less access to resources for certain things, and you might have to spend more time trying to find the information that you need to really learn the content. It's also really important that you stay connected. And fortunately, we have all these online tools to do that. But keeping connections with your friends, your roommates, your study groups are really important. So don't let those fall away during this time. Figure out how you can create accountability partners or online study groups. For a lot of the instructional delivery, faculty are probably going to look at Zoom or Canvas or Google Hangouts. Those are all great things you can also use with your friends. Be the one who initiates the contact with your friends and do everything you can to support each other. Realize that there are going to be some time boundaries. Faculty members are also stressed out by this. They're having to scramble to figure out how to deliver the online content. Staff are scrambling to support both students and faculty. So we're all in this together. And so messaging a faculty member and expecting an answer immediately right before an assignment is due is probably not realistic. So it's really important that you manage your time and realize that there are going to be time boundaries. We also have to practice empathy. Empathy for each other is critical in this extraordinary time. So what are you actively doing to connect and to be kind to others? So we talk about managing stress a lot, but there are 5 things you can do right now to manage your stress. The first one is to breathe. Take a deep breath, let it out. Notice the tension in your body. You can give yourself a hug. It sounds crazy, but it actually works. So give it a shot. Let it out. Journaling is a great opportunity to let out what those anxieties are and just spending a few minutes practicing gratitude. You can also make sure you have a phrase that you go to. So tell yourself you've got this. You're gonna come through this on the other side and be fine. We all are. So focus on that. But you have to set some boundaries. What are those things that you need to do to manage your stress for yourself? And finally, mental health, right? Stress is real and it really wears down our immunity. So taking care of yourself for you and for your family is a priority. So in addition to all of those things that we're hearing about maintaining good hygiene, you have to eat right. Getting some exercise is key. And probably the most important is sleep. If you can get outside and spend some time in nature, hanging out with your pets, doing some exercise, those are all things that will help you to manage your mental health. And in the full article on Canvas, if you missed it, there's a whole article on your sleep hygiene. So figuring out how you can rework your schedule so that you can sleep well is critical. So these are the strategies. Take some time to look through them, figure out your new plan, and you've got this. The full article is going to be available on Canvas and in our special edition of WEP events. So look for that. Good luck. We're here if you need us. Talk to you soon.